apologise for it being so long since the last video. I have been pretty busy at work, what with the whole coronavirus thing. Hope everyone is keeping safe and having a good time building their own models. First thing I want to do is I want to give a shout out to AK Interactive. They have had a lot going on. If you've got their app, I've got it on my cell phone, and they've been pushing out stuff 2 or 3 times a day. They've been giving away books for free and stuff like that, just to try and, you know, gift people something to do. So I think, you know, even though obviously their business, they're there to make money, giving away things for free is definitely a very positive move. So I think they deserve a bit of recognition for that. Today, what we're going to be looking at is the Sturer Emil from Trumpeter. It's kit number 00350. So a bit of an older kit. I believe it's a 2004 if memory serves. The original Sturer Emil was based on the VK 30.01. That was a heavy tank. Before the Tiger was released, it was rejected. There were 2 prototypes that you can build with this kit. There were only 2 that ever served, and they both served outside of Stalingrad in 1943. One of them was destroyed in the action at Stalingrad. The other one survives as a museum piece in Russia. So, I've had a look at the box art, nice painting there of the Sturer Emil and the German infantry moving past a burned out T-34-76. It looks like one of the earlier ones with the giant plate hatch in the turret. So we're going to move this out of the way because there's not a lot on the box. There's some pictures of the built model. It's 279 pieces in total. First thing we're going to look at is the instruction manual. So it's kind of the standard that you would expect from Trumpeter. It's all black and white with the exception of the color call-out sheet. Really the only difference between the 2 vehicles is that one of them takes these markings on the gun barrel, the kill markers, but everything else, as far as I can see, is exactly the same. So they could have really just had a half page with the one option, but actually the Balkenkreuz are different as well. I just noticed that. But it's a nice sheet. It serves its purpose. If they want to go all out, then that's up to them. Got a layout of all the sprues, all the frames. Got 2 of the A-frames for the road wheels because it does have the interleaved torsion bar style common to German tanks on the Panther and the Tiger's chassis. And like I mentioned, this was part of the Tiger development. And then everything's very clear. It's one of the things that I like about Trumpeter. The tracks melt together, as you can see. The instructions aren't big, they aren't clever, they're just simple CAD drawings. It says put this to this and then put it here. You see there some of the interior details. You have to make up a few of the shells to have them in their full length. But the Trumpeter kits that I built their KV and a T62, I think it is. And the instructions are generally pretty accurate. You don't have to worry about them too much as far as incorrect part numbers or being misleading or things like that. It doesn't come with an antenna instruction. Do a stretch sprue for that, but I think most people have either gotten good at that or they've got little bits of plastic rod they can use, and then it's a 2-part gun barrel. But it's a cheaper kit. I think it came in at around about $35. I don't recall it being excessively pricey. Decals. These are Trumpeter homebrews. There's quite a few individual numbers at the bottom, as well as 2 sets of Balkenkreuz, the unit marking, and then the rings for the barrel. The backing paper is fairly thin, which is quite nice. I mean, they should work out okay. If not, it's nothing that's going to be too complex to replicate. The tracks, we've got 2 sets of these. I'm just going to show you one that's selected at random. Mine is a bit twisted, and some of the guide horns here, you can see one of them's got a bit of flash on it and the other one's actually broken, but they are hollowed out. I know that Dragon Tigers sometimes come with solid guide horns when they shouldn't. These are hollowed out for the most part, other than the occasional one that's got a bit of extra material on it, but a bit of extra material better than it not having enough material. And there's actually, looking at the other run, only one of them's broken, so a bit of careful positioning to hide that behind a road rail or inside the drive sprocket, it's acceptable in my mind. And then we've got, these are the hull parts right here. So we've got the upper part here, and it's got actually in the plastic, I'm trying to get an angle so that you can see it in the light, but on the inside facing in here has raised areas to kind of indicate precisely where ammo racks and radios and things like that are going to go. Then we have the upper hull here with the driver's port, or the driver's housing already in place. You add the viewports to the sides and the top and things like that. It's got a nice checker plate pattern here, which is a series of dots rather than any interlaced sort of stuff there. And then a lower hull, bathtub style, good detail around where the torsion bars go in. I don't believe this has complete torsion bars, we'll find out in a second. But they're all shaped as octagons, so that lining things up isn't going to be a problem, which I like very much. I like it when all my road wheels line up. Definitely don't like it when they don't, that's for sure. So, frame one. We've got some shells here. These are propellant. These are more shells for the ammo rack, and it actually gives you a complete shell as well. Jack block. Then we've got the actual racks themselves for the ammo to go in, and then bits and pieces to put all that together. It looks very nice. I'm not seeing anything that immediately strikes me as an error. These are all slide molded as well, which should make fitting them together quite straightforward. I'm not seeing any flash or mold lines or anything like that, so that's quite encouraging. There's a little bit here along the tops of these guys, but a little bit of a scrape with the scalpel. We'll clean that right away. Frame two, this is the breech assembly and the elevation mechanism for that big old 12.8 centimeter, which is what, 128 millimeters or something. I can't even remember, it's been so long since I did centimeters. Yeah, 128 millimeter gun. So again, everything looks nice. There's a bit of texture here, makes it look kind of like rolled steel, which is good, but it's very light, so I imagine that the paint will take that off. And then these guys, right where my fingertip is, do have a little bit of flash on them towards the end. But again, to me at least, a little bit of extra plastic in a location like that where it's not too complicated to clean off is definitely better than there not being enough plastic. Because on a detail like that, it would be an absolute pain in the rear to try and clean up. Here we have both parts of the barrel, gun mantlet, and then got a radio as well, bit of flash on the radio. And there's a little knob here on the barrel. But other than that, we've got two MP40s, I believe. I'm going to be really upset if I'm wrong about that. That's what I think they are. With the stocks collapsed, just in case the crew did need to grab something and deal with it up close. Got some more ammo racks. I'm not sure we're going to have enough ammo to fill all of the ammo racks that we've got, but the actual vehicle itself could only hold 15 rounds. It's either 15 or 25, I can't remember rightly off the top of my head. I did my research a few days ago. This is frame A, this is the road wheel. It doesn't have torsion bars that run all the way through, but once you mount the gun and everything, you're not actually going to be able to see that low into the hull. So it's kind of a needless detail. Got some pretty big ejector pin marks on these wheels on this side. So that's, and they're raised as well. It does look like the machine tries to take them off, but I'd be thinking that's going to be on the inside once you build it up. If 19 and 17 pair together to make a complete wheel, then that should be to the outside. It shouldn't be too bad. Or the pin mark should be to the inside. Couple of them on this wheel are sunken as well. The issues that I'm finding thus far, got ejector pin marks on the torsion bars as well. The issues that I'm finding so far are kind of more symptomatic of it being an older kit than it being a poorly made kit, it seems. I do know that it's a slightly older tooling from the early 2000s, so if they're still using the same molds, then it's not inconceivable that, you know, it'd be starting to show some signs of wear 15 odd years later. Here we have tools with the clamps already molded to them. There is a nice bit of hollowed out detail there. I don't know how well the camera is going to pick that up, but the clamps are hollowed out where they would attach to the hull. Then we've got the lower part of the fighting compartment. Ejector pin marks look like they're going to be inward, so unless you're inside the hull, you're not going to be able to see them, so that's good. Got some extra tracks which have nicely hollowed out guide horns as well, and some nice detail. I mean, looking at it, this kit, for its price and for its age, does look like it's going to be quite entertaining to build. I personally won't be building this. I'm sending it stateside to one of my friends who is a bit of an aficionado for the German tank destroyers. So I'll try and get a couple of pictures from him for the old Instagram when we're done. That's all I had to show you today. I'm working on the Berlin edition of the T-34-85 from Academy, so I'll look at getting a quick video about that. I've still got the Stug on the table as well. I've just not had time to get the paints out to finish off putting that together. But as always, it's been a pleasure spending my time with you. I hope this review was helpful to any of you that have seen this kit and kind of wondered what it's like on the inside, and yeah, definitely give it a look. I would certainly say that it looks like it's going to be worth the money that you pay for it, around about that $25 to $30 price point. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an excellent day, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.